जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनावल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जनावल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुनतीरावनचारी। यमुनतीरावनचारी। जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमय जय जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल। युगधर्म श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तनम की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगद्गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, text number 62. Kriyakalapair idameva yoginaha Shraddhanvita sadhu yajanti siddhaye Bhutendriyanta karanopalakshitam Vede cha tantre cha tayeva kovidaha. Kriyakalapair yoginaha Shraddhanvita sadhu yajanti siddhaye Bhutendriyanta karanopalakshitam Vede cha tantre cha tayeva kovidaha. Kriyakalapair yoginaha Shraddhanvita sadhu yajanti siddhaye Bhutendriyanta karanopalakshitam Vede cha tantre cha tayeva kovidaha. Anyone from Matais? What word meaning? Kriya, activities. Kalapai, by processes. Idam, this. Eva, certainly. Yoginaha, transcendentalists. Shraddha with faith and conviction. Sadhu, properly. Yajanti, worship. Siddhaye, for perfection. Bhuta, the material energy. Indriya, senses. Antahkarana, heart. Upalakshitam, symptomized by. Vede, in the Vedas. Cha, also. Tantre, in the corollaries of the Vedas. Cha, also. Te, your lordship. Eva, certainly. Kovidaha, those who are experts. जय श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौरनिताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Vedanta Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. My dear Lord, your universal form consists of all five elements: the senses, mind, intelligence, false ego, which is material, and the Paramatma, your partial expansion, who is the director of everything. Yogis other than devotees, namely the Karma Yogi and Jnana Yogi, worship you by their respective actions in their respective positions. It is stated both in the Vedas and in the Shastras that are corollaries of the Vedas, and indeed everywhere that is only you who are to be worshipped. That is the expert version of all the Vedas. Purport. In a previous verse, Lord Shiva wanted to see the form of Lord which the devotees are always interested in. There are other forms of the Lord manifest in the material world, including Brahma and other demigods, and these are worshipped by materialistic persons. In the second canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that those who desire material benefits are recommended to worship different types of demigods. And in conclusion, the Bhagavatam recommends Akamas sarva kamo va moksha kama udharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. The devotees, the jnanis, who are known as moksha kama, and the karmis, who are known as sarva kama, are all aspiring to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. Even when one performs yajnas as stated here, Kriya Kalapai, you should always remember that the demigods are but the agents of the Supreme Lord. Actually, the worshipable Lord is Vishnu, Yajneshwara. Thus, even when different demigods are worshipped in the Vedic and Tantric sacrifices, the actual goal of sacrifice is Lord Vishnu. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita it is stated, येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विता तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्ति अविधिपूर्वकम्. Whatever a man may sacrifice to other demigods, O son of Kunti, is really meant for me alone, but is offered without true understanding. Thus, the worshippers of the various demigods are also worship the Supreme Lord, but they do so against the regulative principles. The purpose of the regulative principles is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. In the Vishnu Purana, the very same thing is confirmed. Varnashramacharvata purushena parah puman Vishnu aradhyate pantha nanyat tattosha karanam. Here it is clearly mentioned that the karmi, jnani or yogi, in fact, everyone worships Lord Vishnu if he is actually expert in knowledge of the Vedas and Tantras. The word Kovida is very significant, for it indicates the devotees of the Lord. Only the devotees know perfectly that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is all pervading. Within the material energy, he is represented by the five material elements as well as the mind, intelligence, and ego. He is also represented by another energy, the living entities, and all these manifestations in the spiritual and material world combined are but representations of the different energies of the Lord. The conclusion is that the Lord is one and that he is expanded in everything. This is understood by the Vedic version Sarvam Kalav Idam Brahma. One who knows this concentrates all his energy in worshipping Lord Vishnu. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Seeking blessings from His grace on my Prabhu and all the assembled Vaishnavas, so that I can speak something worthwhile on this verse, as I heard from superiors and senior devotees, for my own purification and as service to all the Vaishnavas. So here the description about the form of the Lord by Lord Shiva is going on. Now, in this particular verse, about somewhat universal form of the Lord is described. So, Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, devotees don't like to see the universal form of the Lord. It is temporary and it is also imaginary form of the Lord. It is not eternal form of the Lord. And repeatedly Prabhupada writes that. Also, we see Arjuna also at one point of time he requests Lord Krishna, please, I want to see your Saumya Rupa. It is very Ghora Rupa. That is, in the Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna shows is not just universal form of the Lord, it is Kala Rupa also. It is in that all the kings and soldiers they are getting killed and they are entering into the mouth of the Lord and they are crushed. It is very very horrible scene to depict. So Arjuna immediately don't want to see that. So he requests to again Lord comes into that two-handed Krishna. So that is the original form of the Lord. So Prabhupada says in one place, what is the original form of the Lord is two-handed form of the Lord, not even four-handed form of the Lord. And he refers Bible. you know, in it is said God created human being in his own image. So if God created human being in his own image, so we have two hands, right? We don't have four hands. So that means God also has two hands only. That is the original form of the Lord is Krishna. Very simple. Not even Vishnu also. Yeah. So, and why devotees are not so much interested in the universal form of the Lord? It is said we cannot strike any personal loving relationship with universal form of the Lord. It creates more a kind of awe and reverence and a kind of fear also than generate any feelings of love. Hmm? And if you want to serve universal form of the Lord also, it is very, very difficult actually. It is said, if you want to dress the universal form of the Lord, how much cloth is required? Big textile mills are also not sufficient. So if you see, if you go to Sri Rangam, there is a Garudji deity is there in the Sri Rangam that takes 36 meters dhoti for one Garudji. If you see the universal form of the Lord, if you take how much it is required. And if you want to feed him, how much bhoga is required. And if you want to bathe, yeah, it is not possible. But Lord is very kind. He comes in a form in which we can reciprocate and access. Aniyor Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Lord is the biggest of the biggest also and smallest of the smallest also. So that we can connect with him and we can exchange service with him. So in that way, devotees are more interested in the form of the Lord that says in Brahma Samhita, Premanjanacharita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hrudayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So it is said, devotees whose eyes are tinged with the love, they always see the Shama Sundara, beautiful Shama Sundara form of the Lord. So, even if you go into Bhagavad Gita also, that is bhakti is the highest thing that is propounded in Bhagavad Gita. It is said Bhagavad Gita is compared to a jewel box. In the jewel box, what is most important thing is the jewel which is there inside. But it is kept in a very beautiful box. And that box contains a base also and a lid also. So similarly in a book also, the book is protected by two thick covers on the both sides. But the most important thing is the pages in between, not the cover. but those things are going to protect and keep the book in very good condition. So similarly, that is told Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 chapters are karma yoga, that forms the support for the bhakti which we are performing, because our life is filled with activities, karma, so many activities. So we can connect with Lord through karma, through our activities. And if you have a very precious thing in a vessel but it doesn't have any cover, so it's a danger that it may be lost. So we require something to cover also and lock it also. So jnana is that thing actually that protects our bhakti. And if you are not putting cover, itself shows that you don't feel the value of it, first of all. If you are not covering it, means you think it is something cheap, not so valuable. So it is covered also. And if you want to open also in our kitchen, so many tins are there. They put so many different grocery items and everything. And there is a handle is there above for that. And on that it is written what is there inside also. It is written sugar, poha, groundnuts, all these things are written on the top of the lid. And when you hold the handle and open it, you will find exactly the same thing. Ideally, it should be inside the same thing, either sugar or whatever. Similarly, in this beautiful jewel box, there is a lid also. On the lid, there is something, inscription is there. That is the verse 18.65. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshyasi satyam te pritijane priyosi me. That is a thing that can open the box. When you hold that lid and uncover the top cover of jnana, that lid will be opened, and inside what you will see is also same thing. Again, manmana bhava madbhakto 9.35. The same thing you will find inside also. So in that way, Bhagavad Gita speaks about bhakti yoga mainly, but it is supported by karma and jnana. So bhakti is all about investing in Krishna. Everywhere we make our investment. We make our investment and expect something to get in return also. Our life is filled with investing in some people, or investing in some assets, or investing in some knowledge. We invest our something into this thing. So here, but wrong investment is investing in demigods. Right investment is investing in Krishna. So it is said it is like watering the tree, but if you are watering the branches and leaves, it is waste. It is totally waste. But you have to put the same investment in roots of the tree that is fruitful. So it is said wherever we invest, 5 things are kept in mind, and based upon that we do our investment. It is said 5 R's. The first R is return. What I am going to get it out of it. That is the first thing anybody thinks about investment, first of all. The second thing is, okay, I will get it, but at what rate it comes? How frequently it comes? After 5 years, 10 years, 50 years. So how early it comes? That's the rate people think in terms of investment. And the third thing is, are there any restrictions are there? Can everybody invest into it? Only few people are only accepted to invest. So if somebody says, if you put in our bank, we will give you double amount in 1 year. So many people would like to come. But if they say, at least we have to invest 100 crores or something, then many people cannot think about it. Right? So, like that. Is it accepted by everybody? Are there any restrictions are there? Means only particular amount is accepted, particular caste people are accepted, particular profession people only are accepted to invest. So, like that, there is restrictions, and is it reachable to everybody? Uh, can everybody access it? And the fifth and most important thing is there any risk involved in it? After investing, if that fellow, Diwala, then it is danger, right? So if you see, Krishna is also asking, invest in me. And the return what you will get, every day we say that return what you will get is Krishna Prem, love of God. So that is the greatest return what God is returning actually. In this world, everybody is hankering after love, you know, and we hardly love some people. That is also a very little bit, you know. But if you invest in Krishna, the return Krishna is going to give is love of God that will help you to love everybody in unlimited way. Not only one person, that love is universal. It becomes actually. Just that story we hear about the Mrugari. He is a person who is half killing animals and delighting into it, killing that. And the same person, how he transformed just by investing in Krishna, in heart became so flooding with love, and he is not willing to harm even ants also. So that is the return actually. Somebody invested in Krishna. So that is the greatest return what Krishna is promising. And we say it is all right, but how much time it takes to commit. So it is said it is completely depending upon your Shraddha. How much you show Shraddha, that much fast you will get it. It can multiply in, 5 years also, 5 months also, 5 days also, 5 minutes also. Depending upon your investment, can multiply in 5 seconds also. So, in Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj came across Sukadeva Goswami, Sukadeva Goswami encouraged Parikshit Maharaj, don't worry about, going back to Godhead. It doesn't, you have 7 days, but King Katwanga only had a moment time. In that only he went back to Godhead. So for you, it is so much time is there. 7 days is so much actually. It's not so problematic actually. Only it requires your Shraddha only. In one moment also you can go back to Godhead. So the rate is also, it depends upon our speed. You can put we hear classes na, by putting speed 1.5, 1.75. It is your capacity. How much speed you want, you can go back to Godhead, that much speed. So, and the third thing is it reachable? How much investment is accepted? Krishna is ready to accept any investment. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam asnami prayatatmanaha. Even the smallest investment also, if it is offered with love, Krishna accepts it as a big investment. For him it is no bar. Anything, any amount can be accepted. Even water also can be accepted. And that is also an investment. And who can invest? Anybody can invest. If you see in the Ramayana, there are Vanaras are there. They are serving the Lord. There is a vulture, Jatayu, that is serving the Lord. There is a Guha, who is a tribal person. He is serving the Lord. Sabari, she is serving the Lord. Like that, if you see, there are nobody is actually prohibited. Even the children, if you see, they are doing bhakti in Bhagavatam, Prahlada and Dhruva and all these people. Children are allowed. So like that, the most sinful person, Ajamila, if you see, he also invested and he also got great return, second chance. So in that way, there is no bar actually who can invest in the Krishna. And is there any risk is there in that? If you say, there is no risk. It is whatever you invest, it comes life after life after life also next to you. नेहा विक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. Even if you invest and you forget also, Krishna doesn't forget. In this bank, in this world, if you invest and if you forget, no manager will come to you and no, when you are sick or something, they will not come to pay the hospital bill or nothing. That is going to happen. But if you invest in bhakti and even if you forget also, in whichever lifetime you are, in whichever species you are, like Gajendra, he forgot in one sense, but Lord did not forget him. Ajamila, he forgot Lord, but Lord did not forget him. So in that way, it is completely risk-free and fully secured. So Krishna is requesting actually we should invest in him. But unfortunately, living entity who is bewildered by material desires, they invest in demigods. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Kamaiste hritajnana prapadyante anya devata tam tam niyamamastaya prakrutya nayata swaya. So a person who is completely bewildered by material desires actually, hritajnana, they are completely bereft of intelligence. So, and one more place also Krishna says, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasa. Those who are less intelligent people actually, they give up this kind of wonderful investment and they invest in wrong places actually. They are completely alpamedasa. Krishna criticizes them. So, but why people invest in demigods? That is also told in fourth chapter actually. कांक्षन्ता कर्मणा सिद्धि यजन्ता इह देवता क्षिप्रम हि मानुषो लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा. Only thing is demigods offer quick results. That's all. Instant you will get. So because of that, people attracted to demigods because they offer results very quickly. But Krishna makes us wait. So nobody want to wait. Now the time is about instant things nowadays. Instant idli, instant dosa, instant gulab jamun. All instant, instant, instant. Instant upma also is there. I was so shocked. Upma itself is instant generally. You know, that is also made instant. You know. So this is the world of instant actually. You know. So people want instant results. So in spite of Krishna is very magnanimous and very loving, people go to demigods for instant results. So, but problem with demigods is they themselves are confused and insecure. First of all, you know, and we take shelter of demigods, and our fate is also going to be the same thing. We also end up in confusion, frustration, and full of insecurity. That's what we see in Bhagavatam so many times. Indra is insecure, demigods are insecure. Some demon comes and attacks. So, and demigods himself are not clear actually about the position of the Supreme Personality, Absolute Truth. That's what Bhagavatam says, first sloka. जन्माद्यस्येतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चाद्वेष विज्ञास्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरया. So demigods completely bewildered actually in understanding the absolute truth. We see so many instances in Bhagavatam. Brahma got bewildered in Brahma Vimohan Leela. Indra got bewildered. And when Mohini Murti came, that all the demons got bewildered. So, when demigods are bewildered in understanding the position of the absolute truth, and we take shelter of the demigods, and it is very unlikely that somebody, you know, is properly secured or sheltered. So, demigods only confused, and living entity also confused. Who took shelter of them also? So, anybody who is confused, he cannot be happy in life, first of all. He will be most miserable person. That's what Bhagavad Gita shows. Arjuna is confused about his duty. That created such kind of suffering actually, indecision situation. He is totally unable to stand also with his Gandiva bow. So, uh, there is no clarity comes if somebody is serving demigods. First of all, his life is full of confusion and frustration and misery only. So one thing you can see that Prabhupada is the only person actually. First time when I came in contact with devotees, it's a great revelation. There is only one person God, that is Krishna. You know, and what is this? This is somewhat too much bold statement. It may I felt actually. How can you say others are not gods? And there is a new term also in ISKCON which at least we did not heard before. That is demigods. What is demigods? Sometimes here it is like dummy gods. People here it is dummy. It is even more too much to call. It. How can you call others are dummy? It is not dummy. It is demi. Uh, there are demigods and semi-gods are also there. So-called gods people are there. So it is so unfortunate situation actually that people don't have any clarity about what is supreme absolute truth. Mm. And because of which actually they are completely deviated from the true goal of life. Mm. So, and Prabhupada very clearly propounded Ekale Ishwara Krishna or Savabhritya. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and everybody are his servants. So, one thing actually we have to understand that in the higher realm, they are happy with their relationships. Shiva is happy, Brahmaji is happy serving Krishna. But we are not happy because we feel that because how can my Lord Ganesha or Shiva can be inferior to Krishna? But they are so happy in their relationship with among themselves. They are having peaceful relationship, but we only have the problem. So as we have the right mood and right service attitude, when we approach demigods with right motivation, then there are instances that demigods also helped living entities in coming towards Vishnu or Krishna. So in that way, but many people go to demigods with wrong motivations, and demigods also give cheating benedictions. But we see some stories are there that one Brahmana did tapasya to please Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva directed him towards Sanatana Goswami. Hmm? So they also want to help actually the living entity. He went to Sanatana Goswami and asked for the touchstone, and Sanatana Goswami ended up giving holy name. So in that way, demigods also help actually to living entity, provided our approach is right. And we hear about the story about Keshav Kashmiri, and he is worshipper of Mother Saraswati, and Saraswati revealed him the supreme position of Lord Gauranga. So in that way, demigod worship is also somewhat helpful, provided a living entity is pure in his consciousness. The demigods are also bless them in right direction. So otherwise, it is a totally confusion actually. So, but without the going through all this mess, if you come in contact with a bona fide representative of Guru and Krishna, you will directly come to the right conclusion, and we can invest properly in our devotion service and get the ultimate benefit. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Is Grace Anand my Prabhu? You want to add anything? Hare Krishna.